welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle, author and Notion ambassador, and today I'll be walking you through how to recreate one of the Notion templates in my Author's Simple template series, the Author's Simple Daily Planner. If you're looking for a simple but effective way to stay organized and on track with your daily tasks, this planner is going to be perfect for you. And by the end of this video, you'll have a fully functional daily planner to help you keep your writing and personal life balanced every day. So let's start off by looking at the finished version of the Simple Daily Planner template that we'll be creating today. So here we are on the finished version of the Author's Simple Daily Planner. As you can see, we've got an image at the top here. And then the first thing you'll come to is the date. Now, don't worry about these green call out sections. These are just instructions for people if they download the template from the Notion template gallery so that they can see how to use it. But you can easily remove these when you customize the template yourself if you download it, and you don't have to put them in. You'll see I'm not going to put them in as we're building today. So we have the date. And just to say, this is the planner that I use myself every day to keep me on track. So when I'm doing my daily planning, I will purposely come into the planner and change this date to today's date. And then I will go through and see what my tasks are for today. So here we are at things to do today. Now this is actually a list view of a database, but don't let that worry you. I know databases can seem a bit scary. It's really just a table with different elements to it, and I'll show you how it works when we build in a moment. But as you can see, I've got sample tasks here for writing, personal and home, and you can tag your tasks however you want. I usually make writing the priority tasks for obvious reasons. And then further down here, you'll see you can click to add new tasks here during the day, and that's what I will do. Anytime a task comes up, I will pop it into the database, but this will only ever show the tasks that are due for today's date. Just below that, we have a section called Things to Remember Today, and this is for one-off reminders. So these are those, school tasks you need to do, remembering to buy things, reminding the kids to do stuff, just simple little reminders that we don't necessarily want to create as a task. We've got some fun little doodles here because I love a doodle. And then at the bottom, we have a calendar. Now this is the things to do this week. It's the same database of tasks, but one of the great things about Notion is that you can choose to view things in different ways. So this is viewing all the tasks in this week's calendar. And as you can see, we've got the 3 tasks here that were on the today, but I can also choose to drag these around, move them to different days, and then they will appear in different parts of the database. And for example, if I moved finished chapter 2 over to tomorrow, it would disappear from the top here. It wouldn't be a thing to do today anymore. It will then appear in that list tomorrow. Okay, at the bottom, one more little doodle just because I think they're fun. So that is the simple template. If you would rather not follow along and build that with me today, you can easily download it for free on the Notion template gallery, which you can see here. This is my page on the template gallery. You can go to that at notion.so/Michelle-Reeves-Writes. I'll put the link underneath this video, and you can see here all the templates in the Author's Simple template series. We have a simple writing space, a simple character library, a simple book bible with everything you need to remember about your book series. We have a simple daily planner, which is the one we're working on today, and a simple book website to help you promote your book completely for free. And of course, we've got a category, cat info for category there, because what's an author without their pet, and my 2 cats are certainly part of my author life for sure. So as you can see, all of these templates are completely free to download and customize however you want to, but let's get on to building today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a brand new Notion page, so let's do that. Okay, so here we are on the new Notion page. First thing I'm going to do is click the 3 dots at the top right hand corner here so that I can make the page full width. This just gives us a little more space to play with when we are building our page. I'm also going to customize it and take away the top level page discussions and backlinks because we don't need those, and minimize the page comments because it's only going to be me that's using this page. Now we're going to also want to put a nice cover on the page because it's always nice for it to look good, especially if it's something you're going to be using every day. So we're going to add a cover. There's some options here. You can choose to use Unsplash, or you can just pick a color that Notion chooses here. I quite like going with the Unsplash options. There's a ton of different free images that you can use. You can search for an image or just browse what comes up. But today I'm going to upload an image myself. So click upload, and then we're going to find an image. I'm going to go with this one, and you'll see that it takes a little while to upload. You get a notification here in the right hand side, and then once that's uploaded, we'll have the opportunity to move it around and decide which part of the image we want to use. So just click on reposition here and you can move it up and down. I quite like having the green plant in this one, so I'm going to save the position. Then we can go ahead and add an icon. There's different options here again. You can go with the icons that Notion has got in their list, or you can upload a custom one. But I think I'm going to go with this calendar. I quite like the calendar. Okay, so now we can go ahead and give ourselves a title for this page. So I'm going to call it Simple Daily Planner. That's nice and easy. And then we're going to go ahead and put the different sections in that make up the planner. So first of all, let's have the date. So today is Tuesday, the 1st of October. As I record this, I'm going to click on these 6 dots here and turn this into heading 2 just to make it a bit bigger. And then the next section down we're going to create is the things to do today and the things to remember. And then a little bit further down again we'll create the calendar, which is things to do this week. There we go. Now I'd like to change the colour of these because I've got everything in brown. So once we've done them all as heading 2, I'm going to go ahead and change the colour of the text. As it's autumn, I'm kind of going with a brown theme at the moment, so we can very easily make that change so that all of the headings are in brown. So all we do is click the 6 dots again, and at the bottom of the menu you'll see it says color, and you have all these options for text color in the menu. You can also scroll down and do a different color background, but I'm going to go with the default background but brown text, and do the same for each of these 3 headings so they all look the same. Okay, let's start with the things to remember because that's the easier of the 3 sections to create. So I want to put a line in here just to demarcate the section. It'll become obvious why when we do the other 2 sections, but I'm just going to create a simple line, and the way to do that is with 3 hyphens, and that will draw a line across the page for you as a shortcut. And then if we want to put the bullet points in for things to remember, you just do a single hyphen and that will automatically create a bullet point for you. So if we just do that here, put in a single hyphen and press the space bar, we'll get our first bullet. And let's pop some things to remember into our list. So let's have create my ARC sign up list for Dragon Quest, which is the 2nd book in my Rescue Quest series that's coming out soon. And let's buy some milk on the way home. We don't want to forget to do that. Okay, let's go up to the top here and create our database for our tasks, for our things to do today. So here we're going to use the plus sign and scroll down on the menu until we get to the inline database option. These are all the databases and we want the inline database. There it is. So we're going to click on that and that will bring up by default a table. Now, don't be too worried about the way this looks. We will change the way it looks so that it becomes a list, which is much more aesthetically pleasing. First of all, let's get rid of this property. We don't need that. We can just delete that. And we also need to make sure that we give our database a name. So let's change the name of the table to start off with. That's the view. It's called a view. And we're going to change that name to tasks and we'll give it a nice icon. Let's have a look. Which one should we choose? How about this one with 3 dots? So that's going to give us the tasks and the title for the database. This goes here. We don't really want to see this, but we do need to give it a name, and that's so that we can find it later on when we want to create different views of it. For example, the calendar view further down the page. So let's call it tutorial task database, but we'll hide it because we don't want to see it in this view here. Okay, so we've got our name section here. This is going to be our task name, and we've got enough space there to do quite a few tasks, and then we've got a blank space on the right hand side for other properties. So let's change the name of the task to tasks, task name. There we go. And then we need to create our second property, which is going to be next to that, which is going to be the categorization for our tasks. So let's scroll down and we are looking for a category on the right hand side here. Let's just scroll down. There it is. We want to use the single select category, not multiple select, single select, because tasks really are only going to be in one category. They're not going to be in multiple categories. So we'll click on select and that will add that property into our table, into our database, and then we have the option here to add different categories. So we'll have a writing category and we can add a personal category, and let's have a family category as well. So 3 different types of tasks that we might need to have in our task database. So for writing, let's pick one that's pertinent to me right now, integrate beta reader changes, because that's where I am in my book process at the moment. For personal, let's have reorder almond milk. I am running a bit low on that, so let's pop that in for personal. And for family, let's pop in book a dentist appointment. So 3 tasks, there we are. Now what we're missing is we've got the categories, but what we're missing is the due date. So let's create that property, and it's very helpfully right at the top there. So we just click on due date and then it'll appear. And then when you click on that, it's going to bring up a calendar for you and you can choose the date that each of those tasks is due. So we're going to make all of our tasks due today because they'll come up in that list, and it'll make it a little bit easier to see how this all works. So we've now got our task name, our categories, and our due date. So all the tasks we've put in so far are for today, but let's add another one in for tomorrow so that you can see when we create the calendar that multiple tasks will appear in the calendar, but they won't appear in the things to do today list. So let's have print out homework, and we'll put that in as a family task and we'll make that due for tomorrow. Okay, right. Now, obviously we only want to filter the tasks for today in this list. So we'll filter by due date, and at the top you can see start date is relative to, but we want to just make it is. And then when you click into this box, you can choose today. So start date is today. And you can see at the bottom there that that fourth task we added has been removed because it's not a task for today. That will, however, appear in the calendar, which we're going to create in a minute. Let's change the way this looks now, make it look a bit better. So we're going to edit the view, and instead of it appearing in a table, we're going to choose list. Already that looks better. And let's take away the blue filter because that doesn't look so good. Now, one thing that we do need to do at this point is to change these little symbols on the left hand side, because if you remember on the template I had particular symbols. So if you click on that, you can add an icon for each task in the database. So let's have a pencil task for writing. Let's have a cart icon for shopping, and maybe we have a tooth one. Can't see tooth. Let's type in tooth and see what comes up. There we go. We'll have the tooth one for booking the dentist appointment. It just makes it look a little bit more fun in our to-do list. You can change the colours of the icons. There's not a full suite of colours, but there are a number of colours there. I like the brown at the moment. I think it's good for the autumn, so I'm going to keep them as brown. Okay. You can add tasks to that list by clicking that blue new button that just popped up there on the right. Let's pop a doodle in here so that it looks the same as the template there. Click on the plus and we can scroll down to image, and then we can pick a doodle to put on the page. So there we go, image. I'm going to upload one here. Now it's going to come up way too big, so we need to make that smaller, and then I'm going to change the alignment to the left hand side so it comes up under our things to remember list. Okay. Next thing to do is to create our calendar view, which is going to appear across the bottom of the template. We've got all this white space on the right hand side, but don't worry about that because we're going to be putting an image there. And that will make the whole thing. In fact, let's do that now. So we'll create 2 columns here. So again, click the plus button, scroll down to 2 columns, and you'll find that there's actually different columns you can have. You can have 2 columns, you can have 3, 4, etc. We'll pick 2 columns, and then you'll see when I hover over, you'll have 2 plus signs come up, one on the left and one on the right, and that shows you the 2 columns there. All you have to do is pick up and drag an element into the column space and it will appear there. I'm actually just going to move it up a little bit more to the top of the column. There we go. And you can do the same with the database. Pick up the database, drag it underneath the column, and already it's a much smaller database, so it's not taking up so much space. We'll do the same with things to remember, and the line, and the 2 bullet points. There we go. And we'll do the same with the doodle as well. So that appears underneath, and just drag it over so it fills up a bit more of the column space. Okay, so now we have this column on the right hand side. The calendar is going to take up the bottom, so we'll just leave that as it is. But on the right hand side here, we're going to add another image in. So we want to have the plus button and scroll down to image again, and this time we're going to upload the same image that was at the top of the page. I quite like having the 2 the same. You get a slightly different view of the image, but it just pleases me to have them the same. We need to change the shape of the image so it's sort of long and thin. So when it's finished uploading, we'll do that so it takes up more space in the column. So the way to do that is you're just going to click the crop image button at the top on the right that appears when you hover, and I'm going to turn it into a 16:9 and then make it a vertical image. You can drag across to make sure you have the image the way you want it. I quite like having, there you go, that maybe just a little bit more of the green plant. There we go. And then you just click save, and that is going to save the image. It does take a second or two, especially if you've got a slow internet connection like me, and then you will get the change in shape. You just need to drag it until it covers the entire column. Again, come on internet. Eventually we will get there. There we go. And then what will happen then is we'll have a much longer image. It's a little bit bigger than the space on the left, but that suits me because once you have items in your to-do list and things to remember, that's going to take up more space on that left-hand side. So you're going to want to have the image a little bigger on the right. Okay. So let's put the calendar in the bottom. So we have a view of the whole week or the whole month, depending on how you want to view it. It's going to be a calendar view of that table, that database at the top. So this time we're going to create a calendar view. There we go. You can use the the forward slash command to bring the menu up as well. And then you choose the tutorials task database, which is the name we gave to the database at the top. And it's going to bring you up in a calendar view. Now the default is for a month, but you can see here, I'm going to actually get rid of that name because we don't want to see it. But you can see here all the tasks that we created at the top are here in our calendar view, including the one for tomorrow, which doesn't appear in the task list at the top. Now you can make this a weekly view instead of monthly. So under the view options here, you just click on layout for calendar, and at the bottom you've got week or month. So it just depends how you want to view it, and you can just change the title at the top to say things to do this month if you want to have it in the monthly view like this. Depends how you like to see your tasks. And that is your main layout complete. Let's just pop another doodle in the bottom down here. I've got a squiggle here that I quite like. It is a little bit big, so we'll edit it and use that crop functionality that's built into Notion again, so that we just have the doodle without the white space. It's not going to take up as much space on our page, and that will just resize automatically, and there it is. Okay, so we've got the main planner page set up. Now you remember I showed you earlier that these different tasks are appearing on the days that we've put them in the task finder at the top, but you can move them around. So if I put the task that we set out for tomorrow into today's part of the calendar, you'll see at the top of the page it appears now in our things to do today list, because remember it's two different views of the same database. Let's pop it back again and move some more around. There we go. You can see that now we've only got two in our things to do today. So it's really great for helping to plan your day, your week and your month, because you can rearrange things depending on what's coming up in your calendar. Let's pop them back in there again now, put it back the way it was. One thing that we do need to do now is make sure that we've got the categories showing. So under properties, again, we've got task name showing at the moment. That's the only thing that is shown in the list. We don't need the due date, but we do need the select categories to be showing. So you'll see at the moment it's not in the showing list, it's in the hidden list. So if we click the eye, that will pop up, and then you've got the different categories for each of your tasks, so you can prioritize them. You can do the same for the calendar view as well if you like to, in exactly the same way, because the views are saved differently, so you can pop them in there like that. If you wanted to put the due date in, you could. I don't really see that you need to because it's there on the calendar, but you might want to have the categories in the calendar as well. And that is the Simple Daily Planner pretty much Done. So there you have it, a simple yet effective daily planner designed to help you stay productive and organised every day, whether you're working on one project or juggling multiple ones. Hopefully this planner will help to keep you on track. I'll be doing more tutorials for the other templates in the series. If you found this one helpful, then please do like, comment and subscribe, and I'll leave a link to the template in the description below so you can download it and start using it today. In the meantime, thanks for watching and happy writing.